Hi, welcome to Delicious and Light. I'm Dina D'Ambrosi, and today we're coming into November, so I'm going to show you some really nice Thanksgiving Day recipes that are delicious and light. I've lightened them up. So for years now, I've been making this sweet potato casserole. It's absolutely delicious. And the first year I made it, it was filled with tons of calories and fat, as probably a lot of traditional sweet potato recipes are at Thanksgiving. So I gave this one a facelift to really lighten up on the calories and the fat, and it's absolutely delicious. People love it. It's 2 steps, so I'm just going to show you the first step now, and then we'll go back and I'll show you all the ingredients that go into it. So your first step is just to roast your potatoes, and as you can see, sweet potatoes are pretty big. You want 3 pounds serves 8 people. So 3 pounds of sweet potatoes turned out to be about 3 potatoes. It's a little bit over, but it'll work out fine. And all you want to do is split these in half. And be careful, because sweet potatoes are super hard, much harder than your average potato. So my husband's going to kill me, but this is how I do it as a shortcut. Make sure your hands are not close. I dig into it, I lift it, and I just slowly split it in half. I know that's not how my husband would do it. He's behind the camera right now laughing. But listen, when you've got some really stubborn sweet potatoes, you do what you have to do when you're trying to get Thanksgiving dinner done. You know what I'm saying? So this is also this one's gonna go. All right. So if you can do it that way, that's great. If you can't, you've got the alternative measure. Just make sure your hands are away and don't do this with kids. So then I just have a roasting pan, and all I'm gonna do is get some cooking spray so it doesn't stick. Spray the roasting pan with cooking spray, and super simple, just lay your sweet potatoes flat side down, and you're going to roast them for about 45 minutes or until they're super soft. So what you're looking for is when you press into it, it's super gushy and it just kind of collapses when you press on it. Once that's done, you take them out, you let them cool, and then we'll do step 2 of the recipe. So I'm going to go roast these for 45 minutes and I'll catch you back soon. Hey, welcome back. So I finished a little while ago. The sweet potatoes have roasted, and as you can see, they're real soft. I let them cool for a while. So those were roasting at 425. I bumped the oven down to 400 degrees to do the next two steps of this. So we're going to make a filling out of the sweet potatoes, but then we're going to do our topping, and we're going to sprinkle a topping on top of them once we make the filling and bake it all in the oven. So the first thing I'm going to do is the topping. It takes 2 cups of ginger snap cookies. Listen, if you don't like ginger snap cookies, you think they're too strong, you could use graham cracker crumbs as well. But I like the ginger flavor, so I like to use that full flavor. I'm just going to put a bunch of cookies. We need 2 cups of this. I'm going to put a bunch of cookies in here and just chop that out until it becomes real fine, like a graham cracker crumb crust. So I'm going to turn this on. It's going to get real loud for a minute. Just keep heating this up. Shut it off every once in a while to see if it needs to be mixed up. You can pulse it in between, or just let it rip. And sometimes you got to break up some of the bigger pieces. Listen, it's never a perfect process. Every once in a while, I'm also picking off any big pieces that were just stubborn. All right. And so this is nice and crumbly. Let's see if we get 2 cups out of here. So I'm just going to get a mixing bowl out, and we'll just measure 2 cups from here. This is super easy. Oh, we got a little extra there. It's okay. Pour that back. Pour that in. Let's see if we get 2 cups. There we go. 2 cups. We'll just set that aside. And all we want to do is take 2 tablespoons of low-fat, low-cal butter spread. We're going to melt that in the microwave for about 15 seconds. Add that to the crust. Let's just get our butter spread in. Come on, don't be stubborn. There. 2 tablespoons of that. Pop that in the microwave for 15 seconds. I always like to put a lid on the butter spread whenever I'm melting it, because what I find is otherwise it can pop and it makes a mess out of your microwave. So I always put a lid on it. 1/4 cup packed brown sugar. We're all set there. You can hear that going off. Grab the melted butter. Listen, butter spreads and microwaves are all different, so I would start with 15 seconds, and if you find that your butter spread is not melted, then just add another 10 seconds to it. All right, and this we're just going to use a real tiny bit. This is pumpkin pie spice, and I'm just going to add 1/4 teaspoon. However, I will say, if you're someone who doesn't like the ginger snap cookies and you're using a more plain, say, graham cracker crust or anything, you can pump that up if you want. You could go to 1/2 teaspoon, whatever you like. And I'm just going to stir the dry stuff around for a little bit, like this. Just get that nice and mixed in. If this is a point where, see, if you see any big chunks of cookies, you can toss it or eat them. They're really good. It's called bacon-y. Add your butter spread, and I'm going to get a fork, because the fork actually helps mix it in better than a whisk. And then you just want to mix this in until you get crumbles. And just mix that together. And you are set. So as you can see, this is going to be on the sweet side. I think all sweet baked potatoes keep keeping it sweet. There's a nice compliment to it, sweet and spicy. All right, let's put the ginger snaps away. Then grab another mixing bowl. And to this mixing bowl, you just want to take your cooled, this is important, cooled roasted sweet potatoes and scoop out the flesh. I have done this in a hurry. You know, it's Thanksgiving morning, you're thinking about 10 different recipes you have to make, and I'm scooping this out and I'm burning myself at the same time. It's not fun. So if you can think in advance, do it in advance. You can even do this the night before if you want, and get the filling done the night before, set it all up, and bake it the morning of Thanksgiving, so it's one less thing you have to think about. It still comes out fresh, and you've done most of the work the day before. It takes the stress out of things. I do as much as I can the day before and just do the things I have to do that day. So I'm just going to continue and scoop these sweet potatoes out. Remember, you don't have to remember all these ingredients or the measurements. This recipe is on deliciouslight.com, and you can get all the details there. I'm going to continue to scoop out this flesh, and I'll be back with you in just a minute or so. All right, so I'm all done. I took out the inside of the sweet potatoes. I threw out the skins, and now we're just going to start with all the filling. So what you want to do is just add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar right in the bowl. 2 tablespoons of apple jelly. Get a little apple flavor in there, but subtle. 1/4 teaspoon, and again, if you love pumpkin pie spice, have fun with this. You could add a 1/2 teaspoon if you'd like. You do 1/4 teaspoon pumpkin pie spice, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of low-fat, low-cal butter spread, all right, 3/4 cup fat-free half and half, 1/2 cup of apple cider, and 1 cup of egg substitute. Just add that all together, nice and easy. Put it all in your mixer. Start off slow. that it doesn't splatter. And when you see it starts to mix in together, then you can make it a little higher. Another nice little trick that I use is if you think something's going to splatter, they have the splatter guard, this mixing machine does, but also you can just put a towel over it and pump up. And this way you have nothing to worry about. I cannot tell you how many times I'm cleaning the walls of the kitchen because I forgot to do this little trick and I find myself with a pretty big mess. So let's see how we're doing. We're just going to mix it a little bit more until it's smooth pretty much. In the meantime, what you could do is get out a casserole dish. So what I like to do for Thanksgiving is I like to bake it and serve it in the same thing. So I usually pick something that's nice to serve with. I'm going to get this out. It's not Thanksgiving today, but these work out great. Just scrape down the sides a little, see how we're coming along. Still a little bit clumpy, so I'm just gonna do this. Turn this on. Now turn it on high. That makes it good. I'm gonna spray this with cooking spray. It was already hot from the sweet potatoes anyway. And that's it. And then what we do from here, just pour it in. And as you can see, this makes a lot. And that's only 3 sweet potatoes. I definitely have made double this recipe for Thanksgiving. Looks nice. And then we just get our crumb topping. Take the crumb topping. Get the towel out of the way so you can see. Sprinkle the crumb topping on top. This crumb topping is so delicious. And if you are a traditionalist and you don't like the idea of the crumb topping, listen, you can absolutely put some marshmallows on top instead and bake it in like that. And there it is, sweet potato casserole. I'm going to put this in the oven and this is going to bake for about 40 minutes. So it takes a little while to bake. So when you're making your Thanksgiving dinner, just keep in mind that if you made this the day before, just take it out, make sure that it's going to bake for 40 minutes before you're going to serve. That's it. I'll catch you back in 40 minutes when we're all ready and to eat dinner. Thanks. Hey, welcome back. So it's been 40 minutes and our casserole should be done. I'm going to take this out. And you see the topping is nice and brown and it's actually puffed up a lot. That's the eggs in there, so it's actually like almost like a souffle. Not quite, but it definitely pops up. So let's shut the oven off, bring it over to the stove. Let it cool for about 10-15 minutes so that nobody burns themselves, which I'm probably going to do right now. Just want to test it and make sure it's as delicious as I remember. Put a little bit of the topping, a little bit of the filling. And while I let this cool for a minute, I just want to remind you to follow us on YouTube and Facebook. As well as our deliciouslight.com. If you put your email address in, you'll get updates when new recipes are posted, which is really good. And I'm going to have a lot of Thanksgiving and nice fall recipes coming up with the month of November coming up. Also, just a little reminder that at Apex Nova, we help charitable organizations, schools, sports teams, and other nonprofits with their fundraising efforts. So check us out there too. All right, let's see how this is. Delicious. Sweet potato casserole. I hope you love this as much as I do. Thank you and enjoy.